Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot and a PMDG 777 beta tester. Welcome back to the 777 Freighter and finally in Flight Simulator 2024 as well. Today we're going to do a very quick 30-minute flight from Leipzig to Frankfurt using Sane Tension's AI for our air traffic control. And at this point, thank you very much to Sane Tensions for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know about them yet, they do provide AI-powered air traffic control services, and while not that relevant for our freighter flight today, they also have other services such as cabin crews, tour guide, mentors, and all of that powered by AI. It's pretty cool, so if you like what you see on today's video, do check them out using the link in the video description or in the pinned comment below. And with that said and done, let's get right into it and let's get right to flying our 777F. Now, today we are actually going to fly from the FO seat, as you can probably see. I've just removed all those ground service vehicles. Now we are just going to give MSFS a couple moments to catch itself, bring up some proper frame rates, since it seems to, as you can see, have quite some problems with its performance since Sim Update 2 came along. But just wait for it, give it about a minute or so. I'm not exactly sure what it's doing in the background, but eventually it will load and we will get good frame rate once again. So that's unfortunately something that Sim Update 2 has introduced. The beta worked absolutely fine. I have no clue what Asobo did, and all of a sudden we had these problems. Alright, so here we go. As you can see, our frame rate is right there again. So first things first, we are gonna turn that ADRU on, and then we can get right into it. The oil quantity is checked, the hydraulic quantity is checked. Let's turn the APU switch to the on position momentarily to check the APU oil quantity, which is good at 7.7. Then we can turn it back off again. And, well, that's everything done down here. So oxygen test. It's looking good on the right side and is looking good on the left side. Wonderful. So with these out of the way, let's go into the UFT and start importing our SimBrief flight plan down here. And here we go. So quick look into the flight plan to get you guys into the loop of what we're about to do today. So as you can see, our route of flight is fairly straightforward. There is some icing forecast up to flight level 240. So if our anti-icing system was inoperative, I probably wouldn't fly today. Apart from that though, no problems at all for our flight. Then looking into our airport's weather conditions. As you can see, Leipzig, beautiful weather and westerly winds. Frankfurt is also beautiful. Runway 25 probably going to be used today. And Frankfurt is going to stay beautiful as well. Our alternate Hahn, same thing. So with that, we can have a look at our route of flight. So as you can see, if we depart on time, we're going to arrive 10 minutes ahead of schedule, and that's even including the full Kerax 5 Alpha arrival, which is a fairly long and protracted one, which I don't estimate will be flying completely today. So with that, down into the fuel section. Impacts of cost index and weight are basically negligible over here. So what we can say is planned takeoff fuel is 10.9 plus 500, so 11.4. Let's round it up to 12 tons, and that's all we'll need for today's flight. So down into the Weight and Balance app, where we can import our SimBrief data, and then into the precise loading, and we want 12,000 kilos of fuel for today's flight. Alright, cool. And with that, we are all set up to call for GSX to start boarding, respectively loading our freighter. Alright, so that much for the basics. Then let's get ourselves the doors, and you can have the status page over here. So recall, checking all those messages over here, but nothing abnormal. And with that, I think we are more than good to go. So all the ground services start arriving and start connecting, opening the cargo doors in the back there as well. Very, very good. Okay, cool. So with that done, let's get right into our setup, and we'll start on the FMC 777-200 GE90 engine, and this is the strong one, not the weak one that you find on the 200. Nav database is up to date, pos in it where we are going to take the GPS position, and then we can do the route request uplinking our SIMREF route over here. German Cargo 174 will be today's call sign, and while that's in progress, we can head back into the EFB down here and just quickly grab our departure charts. So Leipzig airport, and we need the airport chart over here and the parking stands apron 4 and 5, I believe. Yeah, that's the cargo apron down here. Excellent. Then we need an ARTAC chart, and I think it's ARTAC 5 Sierra that we are going to fly today. So where is it? Here we go. ARTAC 5 Sierra, looking beautiful. But first things first, let's actually go ahead and start by checking the ATIS on 123.955.
Transition level 60. Arriving runway 26 right. Departing runway 26 left. Advise on initial contact, you have information November. Leipzig/Halle Airport, information November. 0820 Zulu. Wind 280 at 9er. Visibility 6. Sky conditions, scattered at 3100 feet. Scattered at 4400 feet. Temperature 13. Dew point 6. QNH 1013. Density altitude 300 feet. Transition level 60. Arriving runway 26 right. Departing runway 26 left. Advise on initial contact, you have information November.
Okay, information November. I'll just put that down here as a reminder for later. And runway 26 left is our departure runway, so ARTAC 5 Sierra. And then our arrival runway is probably going to be the ILS Yankee approach on runway 25 right over in Frankfurt. And then the Kerax 5 Alpha arrival, Delta Fox 426 transition. Okay, activate, execute, and then let's go ahead and start checking our departure. So, pretty easy one. Straight at DSAN 525 ARTAC. And in here we've got DSAN 525 ARTAC, and that's it already. So then we can load our wind data and execute that. FMC.com descent forecast uplink upload as well. So 231 miles versus 233 miles, so that is perfect. We don't need any nav aids, and we are going to copy and paste Leipzig into the fix info with a 25-mile ring for MSA awareness. Cool, so 5,000 feet is the transition altitude. We do happen to know that by heart, but here's where it's written as well. And then onto the init, onto the performance init, accept the performance uplink, and the FMS suggests 220 is planned. We'll see about it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and cross check the rest of the values. Reserves 5.1. Yeah, that seems accurate. And that's it in here. Then onto the takeoff page. 1500 is okay with me. So it's kind of noise abatement procedure 1.5. I'm happy with that. Alright, and that's our FMS setup complete. I just love when things are easy. And here everything's set, flight recorder on, emergency lights on. We'll keep the supernumerary signs off until we are actually ready to go off block over here. Things are a little bit different in the freighter than they are in the passenger version. So, onto the checklists. We are going to reset all of them. And recall is looking good. We don't need the com page since we already have the ATIS on board. And here we go. So parking rig set. Oh, what's going on with the radio? Alright, somebody switched it off. Interesting. So then, let's have a look at our airport chart. And let's see, Leipzig delivery 1268. And then Leipzig ground 121.805. Alright, that's looking good. ADAS frequencies are set already. Very happy with that. So you can have your radius like this, and I will go for the same thing. Transponder above, standby, and here we go. Okay, cool, and weather radar is set as well. Data will remain down here. We don't need the third ACP, and that's it. Beautiful. So that's our setup completed. Then I suggest we can start with our briefing straight away. One of the things that I like so much about flying cargo, you get on, you do your stuff, and when you're ready, loading is normally finished, and then you just go. I like that, I really do. Okay, so let's give this one a go. We'll do it the Airbus way, just because I really like that briefing format. Okay, so, what do we have? Leipzig, 26 left, AUTAC 5 Sierra, initial climb 5000, and probably something different later by ATC. MSA wise, what do we have? I think 3000 or so is going to keep us safe here. Maybe 4000, let's check real quick. 2800, yeah, so 3000 keeps us safe. Beautiful. Extra fuel and time is not yet available, but we took 600 kilos. That's about 5 minutes here. Alright, then for our taxi we don't have any hotspots. Stop margin, more than plenty. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles, pick up a holding, and then we can come back. 26 right is in use, so that's pretty much what we're familiar with here anyway. Now, we are below the maximum landing weight, so that is not a problem either. And I have nothing special, nothing non-standard threats for this departure. Most certainly VFR traffic is one. So we gotta abide the 250 below 10,000 restriction here. And I think I'm actually going to make it even more conservative, since departure profiles are going through airspace plus echo. So let's make this 220 below 100. Okay, we can't. Well, I know how to correct that. 220. Here we go. Should show in here as well. Is there a little bug here? I think there is. Anyway, we'll have a look at that again once we have received our load sheet and once we have cross-checked all that data. Okay, and then let's do the pre-flight checklist, please. Oxygen tested and 100%. Flight instruments heading 081, altimeter 1013, reading 480. Pre-flight checklist complete. Okay, so far so good. Then, all those things out of the way, let's go ahead and get our clearance. We have information November. And for this one, I am going to do things by voice, so let's go for it. Leipzig delivery, German cargo 174, heavy information November, request startup and IFR clearance to Frankfurt.
Clearance on request, stand by.
Roger. Okay, they're working on it. In the meantime, still loading cargo in the back, okay.
German cargo 174, information November is current. Cleared to Frankfurt via the AUTAC 5 Sierra departure runway, 26 left. Initial climb to 7,000 feet. Departure on 120.84 squawk 6762.
German cargo 174, clear to Frankfurt, AUTAC 5 Sierra, runway 26 left, climb 7,000 feet, departure 120.84, squawk 6762.
German cargo 174, read back correct. Ground is on 121.805, safe flight, sir.
121.805, German cargo 174. Okay, 121.805, then we have runway 26 left, AUTAC 5 Sierra, initial 7,000. So departure 120.84, and squawk 6762. So 6762 is in here. Alright, and that's looking good. So the clearance is in here, then what about our cargo loading? Looks completed. Very good, so let's go on to the init page here. We'll start up the APU. And then weight and balance. So zero fuel weight 198. And that gives me a gross weight of 210, which is correct. Okay, excellent. So performance Leipzig 26 left, import and import. Calculate. In the meantime, GSX, prepare for pushback and departure. So takeoff 2 at 48 degrees. So 85.9% versus 85.7%, that's close enough. Then we have a flaps 5 takeoff and the CG is 25.6, so 26. And that gives us 4 units trim, that's correct, and the speed's 364045. Alright, cool. So that's our FMS setup completed. Then let's go ahead and start closing the doors. So all the vehicles are removed over here, then close all doors. In progress, APU running, excellent. So they can already remove the ground equipment as well. So release GPU and park and brake set shows, so remove chocks as well. Wonderful, that's how I like it. Okay, so main deck door is closing right now, and yeah, it's pretty much closed. Alright, here we go. Main deck door is closed. Then you can arm the slides, please. So, ground from flight deck. Can we pressurize the hydraulics? Yes, Captain. Roger, call you back. So 261 is correct. So right system first. Fault light goes out, and here we go. So 4 units trim are set already. Transponder is on before start checklist down to beacon. So supernumerary signs are now on as well. MCP V2 145 heading 261, altitude 7000. Takeoff speeds V1 136, VR 141, V2 145. CDU preflight completed. Trim 4 units 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Holding a beacon. Leipzig ground, German cargo 174 heavy, request pushback and startup.
German cargo 174, pushback and startup approved. Face north.
Pushback and startup approved, face north, German cargo 174. Okay, before start checklist complete. Ground flight deck. So, pushback approved, face north, park and brake set. Roger, release brakes please. Brake released. Thanks, start on the pushback, stand by for engine start. We will call you. Thank you. Alright then. Here we go. 777F. I just like that airplane. I just really do. It's just majestic, and it shares the body length with the 200 ER, which I just think looks better than the very long one. Alright, we cleared the red line, clear the start engines. Right then left in that sequence. Right engine start. So now comes the strange moment again, where we have to start the engines one after the other. I just like that so much in the 200ER with the Pratts and the Rolls-Royce engines, where you can start them both at the same time. Now it's taking a long time again. So Pushback should have been on the center line, not on the blue line. The blue is too small, doesn't give sufficient wingtip clearance here. So if there were other aircraft parked over here, then, you know, this might get itchy. Even though this actually looks okay over here with the red line. But normally white bodies don't go into the colored lines. Normally. Okay, so we have a good start on the right engine, starting the left engine. Clear left. And pushback complete, sub brakes. Park and brake set. So left engine start is in progress. In the meantime, the ground crew are doing their stuff, disconnecting. If you're wondering why we started the right engine first, on the 777 it doesn't matter, you can start them basically in your own sequence. But since they have a very high idle thrust, starting the right engine first meant the airplane was kind of pushed around the corner a little bit, therefore we supported the pushback tuck with that. It's not necessary, but, you know, if you can just make things a little bit easier there. Why not? Why not do it? Okay, so the wingtip walkers are committing suicide again. Guys, get some help, really. And he's standing there doing nothing. Oh well, we have 2 good starts, so you're clear to disconnect anytime. See you on the right, have a good day. So, there's a tuck, there's a tow bar, there's a guy, and he's holding a pin. And that's basically all I want to see, so let's go for the flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. So, clear signal is seen. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto. Recall. Checked. Flight controls. Checked. Ground equipment. Clear. Before taxi checklist complete. German Cargo 174. Request taxi.
German Cargo 174, taxi to runway 26 left via Zulu 43, Victor, Sierra 10.
German Cargo 174, taxi to runway 26 left via Zulu 43, Victor, Sierra 10. So, Zulu 4.3 is what we are on right now. Straight ahead, right turn on Victor, and then full length Sierra 10. Looking good. Right side clear, left side clear. Park and brake released. Alright, so a little bit of thrust to get it moving. It should start rolling on its own at this weight. PMDG still has to implement that with a general ground steering update. We're at a very, very light weight today, 210 tons. Remember, the max takeoff weight is 350, so there is a little bit of margin there. Okay, so wings were behind the red line, or well, from this direction in front of the red line, so they should not clip into that light pole there. What does it say here? Maximum span 52. Yeah, the 777 is quite a bit above that, so but this actually fits fine. I think the problem is here in the middle. If you had another one on the other side, then those two would collide. That's probably the reason for the wingtip restriction. Alright, so clear of apron. Weather. Terrain is not a factor over here. And then we can do the before takeoff checklist. Actually, let's just review our takeoff briefing real quick. So it is going to be a right seat takeoff, runway 26 left, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure number 2 with a acceleration in 1500. Takeoff speeds 136, 141, 145, and the initial goes to 7000. We are going to contact departure when advised by the tower, and engine out straight at 25 miles, climbing 3000, MSA 2800. VFR traffic is a threat for this departure, and with this kind of weather, they might most certainly be there, so we will pay careful attention to that. And, well, apart from that, I have no specials, nothing non-standard. Any questions? No? Alright, before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist complete. So we go to the full length over here. Sierra 10, that's the next one to the left. And they can read it on the sign as well. So back down to 10 knots for the turn.
German Cargo 174, contact tower on 121.105 Guten Flug.
121.105 German Cargo 174, bye-bye. Leipzig Tower, German Cargo 174 Heavy, ready for departure.
German Cargo 174, Leipzig Tower, runway 26 left, wind 255 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff, German Cargo 174. Okay, we're cleared for takeoff. Cabin is ready anyway, not of our concern, and departure will be 12084. Alright, cool, the checklists are all done. Clear on the approach, clear on the left side. Takeoff. Set takeoff thrust.
80 knots.
Thrust set. Checked.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. LNAV. I just love it when you look outside and you just see the earth rising below you because you're climbing so quickly.
German Cargo 174, contact departure on 120.84.
120.84, German Cargo 174. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Speed checked. Full laps up. München radar, German cargo 174 heavy, passing 3100, climbing flight level 70. So, flaps are up.
German cargo 174, Leipzig departure identified. Climb flight level 100.
Autopilot. Climb flight level 100, German cargo 174. Set, 10,000 checked. After takeoff checklist? After takeoff checklist complete. Set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 53. Now. Checked. Alright.
German cargo 174, climb flight level 220.
German cargo 174, climb flight level 220. Set, 220 checked. So, a little bit of weather, but that's all beneath us. Again, one of those things where the Asobo weather radar just shows its true character. You can see down here we've got an automatic tilt at +2, so it should only show us stuff that's actually above our altitude, but we could clearly see that there is nothing over there. So all the stuff you see over here, that's all low level. We have nothing to do with it. Here, look outside, +1, so it should only show weather above us, and there is absolutely no precipitation over there. Very easy to see. Same thing on the left, there's nothing there. Alright, so we are already in 10,000 feet, 2 minutes after liftoff. So first things first, let's go to econ speed here. And start the acceleration, because we are now clear of any possible VFR traffic. So that stuff goes off. German cargo 174, request to proceed direct Kerax.
German cargo 174, proceed direct, Kerax approved.
Direct Kerax approved, German cargo 174. Very good. So, left turn direct to Kerax, then it will be a straight line over to Frankfurt. And Kerax should be below flight level 130, so let's enter that. That will give us a little bit more accurate top of descent. And that's actually looking quite good over here. So around about 40 miles on the cruise. So I'm happy at 220. We don't need to go any higher than that. Alright, so that was a pretty good departure. All the clearances were correct. Air traffic control behaved as they should. The only thing that I would like would have been a handoff from departure to some sort of an Enroute sector before we got the clearance to flight level 220, but that's a known thing, and they are actually working on that. The challenge is, of course, to actually find accurate sector data for, you know, all the places that you have in the world, because there is no public source of that, and not even the Navigraph database would have information like that. So, all the sunshades are in place. Then let's actually go ahead and request the Frankfurt ATIS. Search, arrival, Frankfurt. Come on, you can do this. Here we go. Kerax 5
Cargo 174, contact Munich radar on 133.23.
133.23, German cargo 174, bye bye. München radar, German cargo 174 heavy, passing flight level 172, climbing flight level 220.
German cargo 174, Munich radar identified. Good afternoon.
Yo, good afternoon. Okay, so Frankfurt ATIS 118030.
Ishans, broken at 2900 feet. Broken
Approaching.
at 3500 feet. Temperature 13. Dew point 5. QNH 1017. Density altitude 0 feet. Transition level 55. Arriving runways 25 center, 25 left, 25 right. Departing
Vertical
runways
speeds.
25 center, 25 left. Advise on initial contact. You have information Juliet.
Okay,
Frankfurt
Juliet, runway
Airport.
25.
Information Juliet.
Let's just see about the
0850
wind.
Zulu. Wind 335 at 11. Visibility 6.
Okay, that's fine.
Sky conditions. Broken at
Excellent, so the ATIS is on board, runway 25 it is, and I do hope it will be 25 right, since that's going to shorten our taxi significantly. We can always request it if we don't get it by default. So let's just fly the level off here, and when that is done we are going to start our approach preparation. Now this is such a short flight that I can't even say that realistically I shouldn't be sitting here, but there, with the chairs all the way at the back, you just don't have time to relax on a short trip like this one. Alright, so back up front. Out. Yeah, enough path. Alright, cool. Then we can start our approach preparation. So the star is already pinned, approach will be 25 right, and I suppose it will be the Yankee approach with that kind of wind. Let's bring that up, minimum 561. Oh, come on. Here we go, 561. So, descent winds, we are just going to update them here. Speeds are looking okay, 661, 274. I tell you what, let's just update that to 300. Forecast should arrive any moment. We're landing in Frankfurt. 25-mile ring for MSA awareness. And then we can do the uplink. Okay, cool. So last thing we need over here will be the parking stands west. So this one. And the taxi chart overview. Oh no, let's actually take the airport overview. That's all we need up here. Alright, cool.
German Cargo 174, Munich radar. I'll start your descent in about 20 minutes. Just say the word if you'd like to start down earlier.
Roger. Oh yes, we will start earlier. It's probably thinking we are going to fly the entire arrival, and I don't see that coming. I absolutely don't see that. So, nonetheless, we still gotta cross-check the arrival to make sure that in case we need it, it is there. So from Karax, we proceed to Golf Echo Delta, Delta Fox 407, 408, 411, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then on the extended vector towards the final approach. The final itself will be the Yankee approach runway 25 right, or Delta Fox 430 and 5000. And that's right over here, 3.2 degree glide slope. And we do have that down to the minimum of 561, which we also have. And in case of go around, climb on 246 to 680 or above, immediate turn right, direct Delta Fox 490, maximum 185 knots. So Delta Fox 490, and that's 185 knots. Remember, 777 doesn't take any exclusive speed restrictions, it always meets an altitude with it. So then via Delta Fox 491, maximum 210. Delta Fox 492, maximum 230. Towards Mifto at 5,000 and missed approach, maximum 250, mandatory 5,000, and we do have that. Very good. So 7.1 for the arrival. Let's just run a quick calculation here. What if I take Delta Fox 480 on top? 7.8. So we're basically burning 1,000. So erase. So that's a landing weight of 206. So Frankfurt, runway 25 right. Import the details. Weight 206. Import the weather, calculate, and that's quite okay down here. 2,322 meters. And, well, then we're gonna take just that. Cool, here we are. Nothing in the recall, nothing in the notes. And reset MCP altitude. Alright, let's go for it. Now, we gotta commit a sin over here. At this point, the phrase request descent is not understood very well by say intentions, so we have to say the bad thing, ready for descent. Then it understands it. I hate to do it, but let's do it. German Cargo 174, ready for descent.
German Cargo 174. Whenever you'd like to descend, flight level 170.
When ready, descend flight level 170, German Cargo 174. Set, 17,000 checked. Okay, and then we can start the briefing.
German Cargo 174. This before. Descent flight level 170.
German Cargo 174, descend flight level 170. Okay, alt intervent, down we go. So, for the briefing, we've got the Kerax 5 Alpha arrival for an ILS Yankee approach runway 25 right. Probably some radar vectors involved as well. Minimums 561, go around is with a right-hand turn, couple of speed restrictions there which are going to restrict our ability to retract the flaps all the way, but those are required for, well, noise abatement in order to be able to comply with the terms. So definitely some chords involved in that. Well, and apart from that, I have no specials, nothing non-standard, and extra fuel and time. So we arrive with 7.1, the minimum is 5.1, that means 2,000 kilos.
Cargo 174, contact Langen radar on 127.725.
127.725, German Cargo 174. Langen radar, German Cargo 174, heavy, passing level 207, descending level 170.
German Cargo 174. Langen radar identified. Good afternoon.
Yo, good afternoon. Correction. Yo, good afternoon. Yeah, that voice may need a little optimization there. The good thing is you can report that right within the app, and whenever you click that button in Say Intentions, they are immediately going to have a look at those voices and optimize them where needed. Okay, cool. So let's now go for our actual second half of the briefing. So, flight director guidance, ILS approach, landing config 30, idle reverse due to Frankfurt's noise abatements. And we have no... Well, we have plenty of runway available with 2,800 meters, so auto brake 3 it is, to becate to the left with a stop margin of about 300 meters. Apart from that, we don't do anything special today, we don't do anything abnormal today, and threats for the arrival, well, maybe a little bit of terrain in the north here, so let's switch over to the terrain display, but that's really it. Any questions? No? Beautiful, so that's the briefing completed. And we're approaching 1,000 to go. Vertical speed. Just look at how smooth the autopilot is changing the vertical speed here. That's how an airplane works. And that's also the reason why the passengers will just never feel it when you do something like this. Alright, cool. So that's that. Let's go ahead and do the descent checklist. So, recall, checked, notes, checked, auto brake, level 3, under data, VREV 137 minimums, RO 561, set right, set left, approach briefing completed, descent checklist complete. Very nice, I like it. Getting a little bit high on profile, but I'm sure ATC has a plan what they want us to do. We still need the star clearance as well, or did they already clear us? I don't think they did, so... Let's see. Let's see what they're gonna do. Alt. German Cargo 174, request further descent.
German Cargo 174, descend flight level 170.
Maintain flight level 170, German Cargo 174. Okay, fine. Then we are just going to maintain this level. German Cargo 174, please confirm the routing after Kerax. Now let's see what they're gonna say. Testing the AI here.
German Cargo 174, routing after Kerax is GED DF407, DF408, DF411, DF412, DF413, DF414.
For real? He reads the entire arrival?
DF41.
Okay, he's trolling me. German Cargo 174, roger. Yeah, he's trolling me. Let's see if I can troll him back. German Cargo 174, request to proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 480.
German Cargo 174, proceed direct DF 408.
German Cargo 174, proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 408. No, he doesn't let me troll him. Okay. Fair enough. Now, let's see if we can still get a shortcut over here. Perhaps some vectors to final? Let's try that. German Cargo 174, request vectors to final.
German Cargo 174, proceed direct to DF 408, then resume own navigation to EDDF.
Direct Delta Foxtrot 408, thereafter own navigation. German Cargo 174. Okay, we tried everything we could. He's not giving us that shortcut. That's fine. Then we just fly the arrival. I'm sure he's eventually going to radar vector us anyway. So in that case, you can just disregard the vertical deviation down here as well. Of course, we're not 5,000 high if we have like 84 miles to fly. Then again, of course, we're not going to fly the entire arrival, because as you can see down here, landing at 01, that would take 20 minutes to do. So we'll just keep the 300 knots for now. Of course, I highly doubt that we're going to be able to make that turn over here at 300 knots, even though the plane tells me it can. Well, the plane also assumes a deceleration here, so we'll have to reduce our speed for the turn, otherwise we're going to overshoot. That's a typical thing that a flight simmer might not do, but remember, we are flying on an open speed window right now, so the routing is, yeah, now it gets recalculated with the present speed, and as you can see, that's the turn radius we can do, and with that we're unable to make the turn. So that's the one thing here. When we start entering that turn, we got to reduce towards 220, or we can probably try 250. Slight overshoot is not going to be too much of a problem. Let's see, that one's calculated at 250 knots, so that's the turn radius for 250, so indeed 220 would work. Okay, fair enough. German Cargo 178, request descent.
German Cargo 174, descend, flight level 170.
Maintain flight level 170, German Cargo 174. I somehow want to bring us below level 150. I think that's where say intentions transitions you to the approach frequency. And therefore that is where we could request radar vectors to the approach. So reducing 220. Let's see what that's going to do with our turn here. So have a look at the turn radius here. You can see the prediction is actually pretty accurate. But as we're losing speed, we will get closer and closer to intercept that second turn over here, until we will eventually be actually able to fly it. And note to myself, make a bug report that these S transitions are not seen as normal routings, but that ATC does consider giving you shortcuts within these. So this is actually looking quite okay now. Let's update the direct to waypoint 412 just to help the plane a little bit. Here we go. And at 220 knots, that really shouldn't be a problem now. But still, you can see, even though it's 220 indicated, we still have a ground speed of 316, which of course means that we are overshooting here. It's nice to see how accurate the PMDG turn predictions actually are. You can see the magenta is right below the yellow, or below the white over here. Right below the white. That sounds wrong. You get what I'm trying to say, though. So if you are wondering why you are overshooting a turn like this, because I do see quite a lot of flight simmers doing that, it's simply because we're going too fast. If we had reduced our speed, and as pilot you are responsible for that, if we had reduced our speed, then we would have been able to fly a turn like that. I did get that question quite a lot back in the day when I was offering customer support for a flight simulation company, and lots of people got that wrong and then contacted support. Why can't the plane follow my route? Well, because you're going too fast, and the best computer can't do something that's physically impossible. Okay, so now we can really get descent, can we? German Cargo 174, request descent to flight level 100. Let's try it this way.
German Cargo 174, descend flight level 100.
Descent flight level 100, German Cargo 174. Aha! So, set, 10,000 checked, and level change, full speed brake, let's go. Just gotta love the performance of the 777. Descending at 3,500 feet a minute at 220 knots, right at the minimum clean speed. You wouldn't be able to pull off something like that with many other aircraft types. The speed brakes are incredible in this plane. And it just looks cool as well.
German Cargo 174, contact Frankfurt approach on 118.5 052.
118.505, German Cargo 174. So that was very poor voice quality, reported that one as well.
German Cargo 174, descend flight level 050, turn left heading 250 vectors for the ILS runway 7.
Yeah, we'll ask approach. Frankfurt approach, German Cargo 174 heavy passing 130, descending level 100.
German Cargo 174, Frankfurt approach identified. Guten Tag, expect the ILS X-ray runway 7 center approach into Frankfurt.
What? German Cargo 174, request ILS Yankee runway 25 right. Okay, speed brake going back in.
German Cargo 174, ILS Yankee runway 25 right approved.
German Cargo 174, roger. Okay, 1000 to go. Entering the clouds, temperature +1, so anti-ice may come on. We can also clean the flight deck up a bit. Here we go. German Cargo 174, request vectors.
German Cargo 174, turn right, heading 205 vectors for the ILS runway 25 right approach.
Turn right heading 205, vectors ILS 25 right, German Cargo 174. Okay. Let's just listen to the ATIS again, just to check what runway it says on there.
Height 00 feet. Broken at 3300 feet. Temperature 14. Dew point 6. QNH 1017. Density altitude 200 feet. Transition level 55. Arriving runways 07 center, 07 right, 07 left.
Oh god, they
Departing
actually
runways
switched the
07
runway
center,
direction.
07 right. Advise on initial contact.
German
You
Cargo
have information
174, proceed direct DF480. Descend flight level 050 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 25 right approach. Speed below 220 knots until established.
Testing 20.
German Cargo 174, proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 480, descend 5000 until established, cleared ILS Yankee 25 right, speed 220 knots until established.
Visibility 6. Sky conditions. Broken at...
Okay, cool. So here we are, getting below 5000. German Cargo 174, confirm QNH.
German Cargo 174, roger.
No. That's not the right answer. German Cargo 174, please confirm the QNH.
German Cargo 174, QNH is 1017.
QNH 1017, German Cargo 174. Set QNH 1017 cross check, passing 9,000 now. Checked. So, lights on, signs on, approach checklist. Altimeters, QNH 1017, approach check is complete. Okay, so, a little bit of feedback over here. Of course, this approach handling was not ideal by say intentions, and all of that will be reported to the developers. By the way, the fact that they clear you to flight level and forget the QNH on the approach clearance, that one is reported and under investigation already. So that should hopefully be fixed soon. Okay, so at 1,000 feet a minute we are going to be level like 2 or 3 miles prior to Delta Fox 480, and then we'll have like 7 miles level segment. Well, I suppose we could do something about it here. 700 feet a minute. Actually 500 should be sufficient to make it a nice continuous descent approach. So, very quick check that the frequency is correct, because in the past some other add-ons used to have problems here. And indeed, ILS Yankee 25 right 109.75, while it's tuned 11135. So, runway ILS frequency error, I do not agree with that, because this is the correct frequency, for sure. I think if we go into the options, problem may be this correct localizer course to MSFS. I'm not sure if that also corrects the frequency, but in any case, that frequency that we saw, 11135, I would bet that that's for the ILS X-ray, but let's check. Well, let's see, ILS Zulu, yeah, 11135, so it's confused the frequencies. That's gonna be a bug report. So, nice little continuous descent over here. That's exactly how I like it. So, if they have the tower frequency correct, it's going to be 1365. Let's just dial that in. But Frankfurt has 4 towers, so I'm not 100% convinced that they can read out which tower covers which runway, just based on the nav data. I don't think that's in there, but who knows? So, we're already receiving a localizer down here. Lock. And runway track 246 set. Level change, and you go down and idle, my friend. I just want to get a little bit below the glide slope here so that we still have some margin to reduce our speed, because it is a 3.2 degree glide, so it's a little bit steeper than usual, and we will of course have to be able to reduce our speed here. So glide slope is alive. Cleared for the approach.
German Cargo 174, contact Frankfurt Tower on 136.5.
136.5, German Cargo 174. Alright, excellent. They have the correct frequency here. Frankfurt Tower, German Cargo 174 Heavy, established ILS 25 right.
German Cargo 174, Frankfurt Tower identified.
Okay. So, speed 220 until established. Well, we are very close to being established, so I'm happy to reduce as soon as we're in 5,000. Interesting that it's added some thrust again. I think that's this function of the 777 that if you are within a certain vertical distance from your target altitude, then it will command a thrust when you go into level change. It will command a thrust that is going to get you level in, I think it's 2 minutes or something the likes. There is a certain timing behind that. Okay, flaps 5. Speed checked. Flaps 5. Speed out. And we should get glide slope capture before it increases thrust, and we do. Glide slope capture, go around altitude 5000 set. And with that we are fully established. So, manual flight. Manual thrust. And while we're at it, let's just quickly pre-select ground 121.805. In the real world it would be 121.755, but at this moment they can't read apron frequencies, and Germany unfortunately is working a lot with apron frequencies. But that's gonna be fixed, I hope. Alright, so Frankfurt coming into view on the right hand side. A little bit of headwind here. It's a good thing that we requested to stay on runway 25 instead of accepting 07, because 07 would have gotten us some tailwind here. German Cargo 174, wind check.
German Cargo 174, winds 360 at 10, gusting 20.
Roger.
German Cargo 174, winds 360 at 10, gusting 20. Runway 25 right, cleared to land.
Runway 25 right, clear to land, German Cargo 174. Okay, so gear down, flaps 20. And we do take note that the gusts at 20 are actually somewhat of a tailwind component for us. This would be the moment where I would ask my pilot monitoring to recalculate the landing performance, just to be 110% sure that we can actually land. In the sim I'm just going to do auto brake 4, that's going to solve it. Okay, so gusting 10, but it's tailwind, so we don't need any additional speed here. So 142 should just about work. Okay, a landing checklist. A landing checklist complete. So, let's see how those gusts are going to look like in the sim. Looking forward to those. For the moment the wind is still coming from the front. feels like it's slowly transitioning, but it doesn't show that on the ND just yet.
1,000.
Checked. So the wind is turning. Just looks amazing. I had to peek outside for a moment. And by doing that I almost lost the glide. Welcome to flight sending.
Approaching minimums.
Checked.
200. Minimums.
Continue. $100.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
So, speed brake up, thrust reverse normal. Looks like the auto brake is doing a fine job. 80 knots, manual brakes, we'll let it roll to the next one.
German Cargo 174, welcome to Frankfurt. Contact ground on 121.805.
121.805, German Cargo 174. Okay, we'll just turn it left onto the taxiway here, and once we've done that, I'm going to contact ground. That's the basic philosophy here. Clear the runway as soon as possible, because you're only clear when you are beyond that line that we are taxiing over here, and your entire airplane needs to be behind it. Frankfurt ground, German Cargo 174 heavy, request taxi to gate Foxtrot 237.
German Cargo 174, taxi to stand Foxtrot 237 via Papa 20, Papa 1. Have a great day.
Taxi to gate Foxtrot 237 via Papa 20, Papa 1, German Cargo 174. Okay, beautiful. That's exactly what we've been looking for. So if we look into
German Cargo 174 negative, taxi to stand Foxtrot 237 via Papa 20, Papa 1, confirm route.
Foxtrot 237 via Papa 20, Papa 1, German Cargo 174. So that one should be understood, I hope. So it's off to the right and then fairly easy.
German Cargo 174, taxi to stand Foxtrot 237 via Papa 20, Papa 1.
Roger. Yeah, too lazy to answer that.
German Cargo 174 negative, taxi to stand Foxtrot 237 via Papa 20, Papa.
Thank you. Not gonna do the same read back a fourth time. Even though it will be interesting to read the log in the aftermath. Okay, cool. So we don't have any after landing checklist here, and here we are. So as a small reflection on myself, I did force a very smooth landing. I should just have put it on the ground a bit earlier. We did have more than sufficient runway available in the end, so it wasn't a problem, but nonetheless, I did what you're not supposed to do, let's call it that way. And since I see this channel mainly as an educational one, I probably should not have shown you what you are not supposed to do. Okay, so shut down engine 2. Right, so Fox 237 is over there. Engine shutdown right, TCAS off, both copied. So, 266, 238, 237. Whoever came up with that system probably was drunk, but ultimately we are just the ones parking it here, and the rest is not our problem. So 238, then the next one is going to be 237, that's ours. So we're clear on the left, weather radar and lights are off. So 777L is on the guidance, that's correct. And stop. So the APU is running. Shutdown. Okay, so engine is below 20. So shutdown checklist, park and brake, set, shutdown checklist complete. So request unloading. Ground operations, then set chocks, connect ground power. And with that we can release our park and brake. Connect the GPUs up here and shut down the APU. And the rest is going to happen fully automatically. Well, my friends, and with this, welcome to Frankfurt Airport. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know how you think about our arrival and what the AI has done there. I think it wasn't perfect, but ultimately it was just one single item that caused us some issues. That was the fact that they had us at level 170 and wouldn't want to give us lower. Once we were on the approach frequency, we could just request radar vectors for the arrival and everything worked absolutely perfectly fine. So that is something that I do hope they will be able to come over in the past. Apart from that, I had great fun flying. I had great fun with the 777F, and I sure hope that we are going to do more flights soon. Also, we will of course do one where we have the full data link capabilities in the future as well, but until then, thank you very much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are interested in checking out Sane Tensions, then do use the affiliate link in the video description and the comments below. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.